Hello students, welcome to the another session of Environmental Science. I am Utkarsh Suryavanshi, Assistant Professor at AISSMS College of Hotel Management and Catering Technology, Pune. In this session, we are going to learn about a topic called Desert Ecosystem, Part 1. So, the objectives of the session will be: first, what is desert? Second, definition of desert ecosystem. Third, introduction to desert ecosystem. Fourth, characteristics of desert ecosystem. Fifth, desert farming. And last, we'll summarize the topic. So let us understand these headings in detail. First, what is desert? Desert conjure up specific ideas about topography, typically that are dry and sandy dunes or rock or a mixture of both. But deserts are far more than this, and there are multiple types as well. The simple explanation is that deserts are topographic landscapes that receive little precipitation in a typical year. A desert may receive far more than the average rainfall in 1 year and not experience any rainfall the year before and the year after. Deserts will differ depending on their climate and location and their overall aridity, which can influence many things. Not least of all the ecology, the food chain, plant and animal types. High evaporation leaves behind higher salt levels, affecting further plants which can grow. Second, how we define the desert biome are not about the types of rock or the amount of sand or even the temperature, because there are both cold and hot deserts. High rate of water loss through plant reclamation, also known as transpiration, and through evaporation. If we combine these two objects into something, it will be called evapotranspiration. For deserts, evapotranspiration ratio exceeds average rainfall annually by anything from 2:1 to 33:1. Some experience vast temperature fluctuation, especially hot desert, which may be reaching unbearable heat during the day and extreme cold at the night. This is because the rock and the sand absorb heat during the day and releases at night. Next, definition of desert ecosystem. In a simple layman's term, a desert ecosystem is a type of biome characterized by low precipitation level and xeric vegetation. These ecosystems typically receive less than 250 millimeters of rainfall annually. Desert is one of the most dried land areas on this planet that receives very little precipitation annually. Desert ecosystem is the driest ecosystem of the earth, and this is the reason it has less vegetation and less diversity of life. It is one of the parts of the terrestrial ecosystem. The plants and animals of desert ecosystem have mastered the art of survival in harsh conditions. In short, desert ecosystem is the community of living and non-living organisms living together and interacting in an environment which seems to be abandoned. A desert ecosystem is the interaction between both the biotic and abiotic component of environment. The word desert refers to a mostly barren, dry and abandoned land that doesn't have any plant or animals in the sand. Earth is the only planet where living things are found, even though there has been a lot of research done about other plants and how life works. Survival is only possible on Earth because it has certain types of atmosphere, land formation and ecosystem. Each continent on this planet has a desert, and each desert has its own ecology, which is better known as the desert ecosystem. The desert ecosystem is the driest ecosystem on the planet, which means there is less diversity of life and little vegetation in it because it doesn't get as much as rain compared to other ecosystems. There are animals and plants that can live in very bad weather in the earth ecosystem. The desert ecosystem is a group of living and non-living things that live together and interact with each other in a desert. In an ecosystem, the biological community interacts with the abiological environment for its survival. The desert is characterized by extreme, specialized and very sensitive ecosystem. Deserts are vitally important to the planetary ecosystem as well. They cover approximately 1/3 of the dry land of our planet. They are also among the most fragile and embodied endangered biomass. Let us understand the second part of our session, which is characteristics of desert ecosystem. Some of the main characteristics of desert ecosystem are aridity, less rainfall / precipitation, extreme temperature, velocity of wind, scarcity of water, humidity, the quality of soil, biodiversity in a desert ecosystem, the population density and the plant growth. Let us understand these characteristics in detail. First one, aridity. Deserts are defined by their aridity, meaning they have very low moisture levels. This aridity is a result of several factors, including higher temperature, low precipitation and high evaporation rates. The lack of moisture significantly impacts the type of vegetation and animal life that can survive in desert environment. Second, less rainfall or precipitation. Desert typically receive less than 250 mm, about 10 inches of rain per year. The precipitation that does occur is often unpredictable and come in the form of short, intense storms that may cause flash flooding. This scarcity of rainfall makes water a critical and limiting source in desert ecosystem. Third, extreme temperature. Deserts experience extreme temperature variation both daily and seasonally. Daytime temperature can soar to well over 40 degrees Celsius in many deserts, while nighttime temperatures can plummet to near freezing. These temperature extremes place additional stress on living organisms, which must be highly adapted to survive. Next, velocity of wind. High winds are common in desert due to the lack of vegetation and other landscape features that might otherwise slow wind speed. These winds can cause significant erosion, shaping the landscapes into dunes and other features. The wind also contributes to the desiccation, which means drying out of the environment. The next characteristics of desert ecosystem will be the scarcity of water. Water is a scarce and precious resource in desert ecosystem. The limited availability of water means that the plants and animals must have specialized adaptation to conserve and efficiently use the water. Many desert plants have deep root systems of the ability to store water, while animals may obtain moisture from their food and minimize water loss through behavioral and physiological adaptation. Next will be humidity. Deserts typically have very low humidity levels. The dry air contributes to the overall aridity and increases the rate of evaporation. Low humidity also means that the temperature can change rapidly, contributing to the extreme temperature fluctuation observed in desert environments. Next will be the quality of soil. Desert soils are often sandy or rocky and have low organic matter content. They are typically poor in nutrients and can be highly alkaline or saline. Despite these challenges, some plants are specially adapted to thrive in these soils, often through mutualistic relationship with soil microorganisms. Next will be biodiversity in desert ecosystem. While desert might appear barren, they can host a surprising amount of biodiversity. Desert ecosystem supports a variety of specially adapted plants, animals, and microorganisms. Common desert plants include cacti, succulent, and drought-resistant shrubs. Animal life include insects, reptiles, birds, and mammals that have adapted the harsh conditions. Next one will be the population density. Population densities in desert ecosystem are generally low compared to more temperate environments. The scarcity of water and food resources limited the number of organisms that can be supported. However, population densities can vary significantly depending on the availability of resources and the specific adaptation of species present. Next one will be the plant growth. Plant growth in desert is slow and often seasonal, depending on the availability of water. Many desert plants have adaptations such as thick, waxy skins to reduce water loss, deep or widespread root system to access water, and the ability to go dormant during prolonged dry periods. Some plants like annuals complete their life cycle quickly after a rain, blooming and settling seed in the matter of weeks. Next, we are going to learn about the concept called desert farming. Desert farming refers to the agricultural practices designed to grow crops and raise livestock in desert conditions. Characterized by extreme aridity, high temperatures, and limited water availability. Despite the challenging environment, desert farming has become increasingly important for food production in arid regions thanks to innovative techniques and technologies. Here is a detailed explanation of desert farming highlighting the key main points. First, water management. Next, soil management, crop selection and breeding, and greenhouse farming. First one will be water management. Under water management, first one is irrigation system. Efficient irrigation is crucial for desert farming. Techniques like drip irrigation, which delivers water directly to the plant roots, minimize water loss through evaporation and runoff. Subsurface irrigation and the use of soaker hoses are also effective. Water harvesting. Collecting and storing rainwater during rare rainfall events is essential. This can involve constructing reservoirs, cisterns, or even using natural land depressions. Next, desalination. In coastal desert areas, desalination plants convert seawater into fresh water. This technology is energy intensive but provides a vital source of water. Next one will be soil management. Soil amendments like adding organic matter, compost, or biochar can improve soil structure, increase the water retention, and provide essential nutrients. Mulching. Covering the soil with mulch reduces water evaporation, controls soil temperatures, and help in suppressing weeds. Hydrogels. These water absorbing polymers can be mixed with soil to retain moisture and release it slowly to plant roots. Next, crop selection and breeding. Drought resistant crops. Selecting that crops that are naturally adapted to arid conditions such as dates, olives, and certain varieties of beans and grains is crucial. Development in genetic engineering has resulted in genetically modified crops that can withstand high temperatures, saline soils, and low water availability. Next one will be greenhouse farming. Controlled environment agriculture, also known as CEA. Greenhouses and polytunnels provide a controlled environment that can protect crops from extreme temperature and reduce water loss. Hydroponics and aquaponics. These soilless farming techniques use nutrient-rich water to grow plants with higher efficiency and lower water use that traditional method use. Let us understand some of the example of desert farming which has been available throughout the world. First one, Israel Negev desert. In this desert, drip irrigation system is followed. Israel is a pioneer in drip irrigation technology which has transformed arid land into productive farmland. The Negev desert hosts numerous farms that grow a variety of crops including tomato, peppers, and melons, to name a few. Next one will be United Arab Emirates. We use a technique called hydroponic farms. The UAE has invested in hydroponic farming to grow vegetables like lettuce, tomatoes, and cucumber. Hydroponics conserve water and reduces the need for fertile land. Next one, the most prominent example will be the California's Imperial Valley. They follow a very efficient water use. This region relies heavily on irrigation from Colorado River. Efficient water management practices have made it one of the most productive agriculture areas in the US, growing crops like lettuce, broccoli, and alfalfa. Next, in Asia, we are going to talk about the China's Taklaman Desert. They follow a technique called oasis agriculture. Utilizing ancient techniques, oasis in the Taklaman Desert supports agriculture through the careful management of limited water resource. They grow a variety of crops which include wheat, corn, and fruits. So let us summarize the topic. A desert is a barren area of landscape where little precipitation occurs, leading to harsh living conditions for plant and animal life. Deserts cover about 1/5 of the Earth's surface and are characterized by their dry, sandy soil, high temperatures during the day and low temperatures at night. Key features include low humidity, high wind velocity and limited water sources. Desert farming, an innovative practice in these regions, utilize advanced techniques such as drip irrigation, hydroponics and greenhouse farming to cultivate crops and raise livestock. Thank you.